at a career in engineering, some field of engineering, but actually you've got a creative streak. You know, you like writing stories, you like history, you like politics, and the way the New Zealand university and indeed the school curriculum is designed is that you can combine those various elements into one degree, whether it's a double major or a major and a minor. There's a huge amount of
spoke to them about the education in New Zealand. I think this is something that sort of really attracted me towards it, because I remember in my school or college, you know, when you're asked to choose subjects, I'm like, I want to study computer science, but I also want to know what happens in psychology, you know, I also want to do my dancing. So I feel like you don't have as many options at times to choose variety of subjects which are maybe not linked to each other. So I think, you know, not all of us know exactly what we want to do in our lives or exactly what we want to be, you know, eventually. And we want to explore, we want to see what we like as a subject, we want to know what our interest is in. And I think it's fab that we have like such a huge variety, and where you can take your major as engineering and maybe you know, dancing or any performing arts as your minor, which is amazing. I wish I had that opportunity.
Yeah, well, with that, maybe you would have done a dance here for us. I think that's really useful, and to just get those perspective where you can study various types of courses and be sort of future ready. And with that, I think having Rishabh Shah with us, who is a New Zealand Excellence Award past scholar with us today, to just elaborate. Rishabh, what was the difference that you felt when you reached a New Zealand campus? Like, how was it different from your education that you got here in India and when you reached Canterbury University?
Oh, the difference is important, and basically it's an applied learning approach that you get to experience over there. And apart from that, you have critical thinking that comes into your picture when you start studying in New Zealand. And there is also a strong collaboration of industry and education. So you have industrial experts coming in and teaching you, which basically keeps your system top notch.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, that just makes students quite future ready, because you are actually having that industry exposure, and yeah, I think that's a great way to educate the future who will be running the world tomorrow. Yeah, and with that, Kriti, on your future, like you studied an engineering degree and then moved to films, which is a very, very different career, and there might be students here who want to go to New Zealand, do those two majors where they get acting or performing arts along with a science degree. And if they were to transition, how would they transition from science nerdy to a film actress, a successful film actress? So how was that transition?
I think it's not about, I never planned it like this. Like, I never thought, oh, I'm going to do BTech and then I'll become an actress. It's never like that. I think it's always, you know, you discover what you want to do. And when I was in school, I remember being someone who was very studious, and I liked science. Well, my mom's a physics lecturer, so it kind of relates to that. I wanted to take up science. I didn't know, okay, I said, I like computer science, so maybe let me become a software engineer. I had no idea what a software engineer does. Then eventually I ended up doing electronics and communication, which I liked while I was doing, at least the communication part of the BTech. But I still didn't know what eventually I'm going to end up doing, you know, as a daily job, as you know, my career. I didn't know what I would enjoy. And that's when sort of modeling happened, and I discovered while doing TV commercials that I could act, which is something that I had never tried on, you know. Like I said, you have like very limited things that you're doing in your school college life, because you have those many limited subjects to choose from, and you never try to explore in different directions to figure out what you like and what your passion lies in, and what would you be really happy doing the rest of your life. So when I realized that I could act is when I had my mind on it, and I was like, this is what I want to do, and I want to eventually move to Mumbai and try for films. But at the same time, I wanted to complete my BTech. I didn't want to leave it half done because I really feel that it's very, very important to have an educational degree. I always say that there is a difference between being passionate and being desperate. And when you're in an industry like this, which is so competitive and there's so many people out there, I didn't want to be someone who doesn't have anything to fall back on, or any sort of, a backbone that keeps me strong. I was passionate about what I really wanted to do, but I knew that that's not the only thing I can do. I can do much more. I am an engineer and I can always do other things. So let me just put my heart and soul in what I really want to do, but not get desperate and make wrong decisions in life. That's how it's happened for me, but I really feel that in general, I really want to advise all of you to never stop exploring, to never stop figuring out what you really like and what you really want to, eventually do in life. Choose a variety of subjects that interest you in general as a person, and you might find what your actual dream is. So I think that is something that I really admire about New Zealand and their structure of education, because it gives you that room to choose what you really, feel like exploring. I think, it's one life, and it's mostly so many years that you want to sort of educate yourself. It's obviously a constant learning throughout life. But yeah, I think just go out and explore is what I would say.